I want to give you guys some insight on what I learned down in Mexico. All right. I was in central Mexico. It was called, what is it called? Querétaro. Querétaro. All right. Querétaro. And it was in central Mexico. It's considered one of the safest cities inside of the entire country. All right. And so I was down there from Wednesday to Sunday. And it was a very, very interesting, eye opening experience. And every time that I go out of the country, I always have an epiphany and I always learn something. I don't go there to just visit, to just vacation or any of that type of stuff. I go to these other countries so that I can learn something, so that I can gain something, and I can have a cultural experience while also doing the business that I got to do there. So we did a lot of vlogging. I did lot of content creation, visited a lot of places, went to their neighborhoods, wanted to see what was happening, if there was any industries and factories. I paid attention to the different types of cars that people were driving in the businesses, and I went to the malls and I went to all of these places, and I learned a lot, right? I seen that they had all of the traditional companies that we have inside of America. PF Chang's, Chili's, Aloe, Lululemon, Nike, all of that stuff. They got the same stuff that we got here, right? None of their stores were empty, meaning that all of their individual businesses, that was a thing. I mean, you had the street vendors, you had the people that was in the middle, you had the traditional American looking mall, hotels, Uber was there, everything was there. It's a great city. If you want to go and visit a city outside of the same old Cancun and Tulum, all of the same things that y'all see on a regular basis, then go to Querétaro. I want to go over to Mexico City. And most of the places that I visit, I want to visit again, but it's so much to see across the world. All right. I like to visit different places inside of the United States of America, and I like to visit places that's outside of America, right? I love what's here. I like what's out there. I like the cars from America. I got Ford, Chrysler, and GM, and I got a Tesla, and I have a Porsche, and all of the other stuff that's outside of a Mercedes and all of that stuff, right? So I'm observant, and when I was on my way back, I seen the same old, same old. Everybody was coming back from Cancun because for whatever reason, my direct flight back from Querétaro into Detroit, there was also flights coming back from, I guess, Tulum and then also Cancun. And when I seen it, I made a few observations, right? So the first observation I made was when I came back, because I always recap what the trip was like. And the first observation that I made is black people only go to what's popular on TikTok. I seen zero. The only other black person that I seen there outside of my own family was another parent that was there to assist their child in Taekwondo that was going to the same school that my daughter goes to. We do not visit anything unless it's popular amongst the community or it's popular on TikTok. I'm sure it was a lot of people going to Temptations down there in Cancun. I'm sure it's the same people going over to the Tulum. We do not get out of our comfort zone. I was there and I was out and about every single day, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And I paid attention to what was happening on Sunday. Black people do not go outside most of the time. Obviously, we not a monolith, but I seen zero. And I was everywhere. I was in the neighborhoods. I was downtown. I was in the hotel, all of that stuff. So much so to where I didn't even realize it, but people were kind of looking at me like, interesting. And people would come up and speak, and it was almost like, I'm not used to seeing black people here. All we do is do the same thing. I seen a whole lot of people getting off, whole lot of black people getting off to Cancun, whole lot of people getting off that Spirit flight. Same old, same old, which is not necessarily a bad thing because I didn't feel uncomfortable. I felt very comfortable. But the second thing that I observed when I was there was that they are 100% hospitality. They are 100% hustlers. They are 100% doing their own business. If you look at any of the old movies, like the gangster movies, the movies from the 50s, the 60s, and even a little bit of the 70s, you would see that there's a lot more culture and community. And it was because we were interdependent on each other to be successful. You didn't have Amazon and big box stores and Walmart and Sam's Club and bulk buying. And so what happened was we were a lot fitter, right? We knew who was and who wasn't, and the people that was inside of the community. We had more businesses and things, and they don't do it because they, just want to. They do it because that is the culture, that is the thing that they have to in order to survive. Which leads me to my third point. We are very privileged and we are incredibly lazy. We are incredibly privileged and we are super lazy. Why do I say that? Because they don't have any choice but to survive. What, you think that they got a 401k? You think that they got pensions? You think that they are subsidized by the federal government in order to survive? No, it's a kill or be killed survival mentality. You got to get it where they got these businesses, right? They got these storefronts because they don't have no choice. They got to figure out where the market is going. They got to market to tourists. They got to find it out. They got to hustle. They got to go up to you, which means that they got to be extra polite and they got to take care of each other and all of this stuff. We are super privileged. And that is not a bad thing. That is a blessing. To be privileged is a blessing, but to be lazy is disrespectful to American culture. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. To be privileged is a blessing. If you can give your child a better education, if you can raise them in a better environment, absolutely. It's the reason why they all trying to come here. Why do you think, and I know that all of my people that be feeling some type of way, that's lazy as hell, that don't want to teach themselves how to read or whatever, I got a class today. I said, I'm about to learn Spanish. And then I'm going to learn Latin, then I'm going to learn French, and I'm going to learn Japanese, and I'm going to try to learn as much as I possibly can. And I'm going to continue to invest in myself. I'm going to pour my money back into myself because I want to be a better version of myself. Why do you guys think that a lot of the millionaires that come into this country that create wealth that ultimately become millionaires, because it's like between 1,200 and 1,700 new millionaires every day. Why do you think that more than half of them are foreign? They got a different mindset, a different work ethic. When they come here, they be like, oh, wait a minute. So they just chilling? Hold on. You telling me that I could make 50, 60, 70, $80,000 a year, minimize my lifestyle, and then build up my business, invest everything into my business? I tell people here, hey man, stay down for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and you can live the rest of your life the way you want to. Oh man, skip that. I want it now. Lazy, always looking for a shortcut. We got more opportunity and you don't even realize it until you're not here. When I would catch my Uber, right? It was, I don't know, 50 pesos, 55 pesos or something like that, which is, I don't know, somebody in the chat, I don't want to look it up right now. Somebody in the chat, y'all do the equivalent of pesos to American dollars. When I would catch an Uber, it would cost me 50 pesos in the app. So then, I'm feeling bad because I'm like, dang, only 50 pesos or whatever like that. So I would give them a 5 or a 10 in American dollars, which is like, they like super happy. Super happy. How much is it? $5? It was costing us $5, $6, $3, $4 to take an Uber. I'm like, $3, $4. When I got back inside of the United States of America, I took a black truck from the airport, which is only 15, 20 minutes away, 20 minutes away from the airport over into my place downtown. And I took a black truck. It was $128 to take a black truck in American dollars. Over there, which they don't have black trucks, but they got the comfort cars. They got the Nissan Versas or whatever. It was $5, $6, and they was like, this is balling. We just so happened to stumble upon a casino, and they wouldn't even let me bet as much as I wanted to bet because I could only bet up to like 1,000 pesos per craps, right, on a craps table, which was only like $45. It was like $45. And they was like, just balling. Everybody crowding around you, which again just tells me that we are crazy privileged. Crazy privileged. I felt like I was like Like, man, this ain't even no money. Which I can imagine how the super billionaires be feeling and stuff like that when they be like with the money and stuff like. But I'm telling you, we are super privileged. But again, we lazy. We are lazy. We do not take advantage of the opportunities that's in front of us. We do not really capitalize off of us. We financing our lifestyles. We doing stuff we not supposed to do. And we could really, really transform. But it doesn't even matter. And the reason that it doesn't matter is because I could tell you till I'm blue in the face, which is why I'm only going to have this segment to be 10 minutes and I'm about to move over to the regular show. I could tell you till I'm blue in the face. Hey, we need to do things differently. We need to change our mindset. We need to have a different mindset. We need to stop trying to impress people that don't care anything about us. We need to make the adjustment and lower our lifestyle and get rid of the debt and do this and do that and appreciate the fact that we are in America and live with conservative values, which brings me to my last point. They don't believe the way that you believe. If you go into these other places and these other cultures, including Mexico, they don't support your liberal policies. When y'all be advocating and protesting and Mexico first and let them in, bro, they don't mess with you the way that you mess with them. They don't respect you in the same way that you respect them as far as the way you live your life. If you lived your life with the same mindset, liberal policies, expectations of the government in the same way that we do here, you will be an outcast. And that's a fact. I don't care which country you go to. Ukraine, Japan, Mexico, all of these places. The only other country that I can think of right off the top of my head that I visited that have these liberal mindset policies is Canada. Other than that, they don't mess with your policies. The way that you think about it, the way that you believe in it, the way that you see things, they don't mess with you. They don't rock with you. So while y'all over here sucking them up, licking them up, jocking, trying to be like them, they looking at you like a fool, and then they take advantage of you and they be like, look at this little blue-haired woman that don't know what she talking about. They do not support. I'm not saying that they're not nice. They're very nice. I'm not saying that they're not hospitable. They're very hospitable, but I also understand that they're hospitable because I had that money. They hospitable to the money. They treat me the way that they treat me because I was spending Uber pesos over in there compared to what they used to. They know. They know. They 100. Well, ask for me when you come back. They know, but as far as these little liberal policies, they don't mess with you, dog. They hustlers. They super interdependent on each other because they understand the name of the game. They understand capitalism, which is one of the reasons why they were so gung-ho about trying to come over here, and they do not mess with your liberal policies. It is what it is. It is what it is. You don't hustle, you don't eat over there. Well, over here, you like, oh my God, give me a government handout. You don't hustle, you don't eat over there. You better sell some fruit. You better go get you some iPhone chargers from somewhere. You better go do something because they don't care nothing about you. You can be a panhandler if you want to. Ain't nobody coming to save you, dog. Nobody coming to save you at all. And that's the truth.